Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charles, and I welcome you guys to another episode of the Dreamerspro Show, where we cover everything from sports, hot topics, classic debates, entertainment, and where we give you guys a fresh perspective on things and how we see them. And today we have another interesting episode for you guys that you want to stick around for. But before we get into it, make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of this year, and we'd really appreciate it if you helped us out. So make sure you go ahead and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. So we all know that this season that the Lakers have been going through some challenges this season, right? It's been a pretty rough year. As we currently speak, they're a 500 team. The last time I checked, I looked at their record. They have a 16-16 record, and they're currently sitting in the seventh seed in the Western Conference, right? Something that I think a lot of us would not have predicted. Now, when the season initially kicked off, I was one of the people that had some question marks about the Russell Westbrook acquisition. But at this point, I'm not even focusing on the Russell Westbrook because Russell Westbrook is one of the issues, but he is not the biggest issue on that team. There are other things at play. But given the fact that the Lakers have kind of been a disappointment thus far this season, it has created a lot of conversation around this team, right? Where everyone is right now trying to pinpoint what the real problem is, right? Some people have said it's Westbrook. Skip Bayless seems to be one of the people that really believes it's Westbrook. And to a certain extent, Shannon Sharp also believes that. You see that I think they do daily blooper reels of Westbrook's turnover. So some people think it's him. Some people think that, the roster wasn't constructed poorly. Some people think, it's they're too old or whatever it is. But there's one person that is making things really simple for the Lakers. While everybody out there is trying to figure out the root problem, we recently did a video where we really pinpointed the issue in terms of looking at their defense, which is horrendous. But there's one person that seemed to pinpoint the problem, and he's figured out who deserves the most blame for what is taking place with the Lakers right now, and that person is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, we all know, is one of the outspoken people out there in sports. You have him, Charles Barkley, and a few others. They pretty much tell it like it is because, number one, I think they have FU money. They're not beholden to anyone really. And these guys, I don't believe they're out here trying to make friends, right? They don't strike me as people that really care to be on the good side of players, in my personal opinion. And Shaq seems to believe that the person that is most deserving of the majority of the blame is Anthony Davis. I was recently listening to him on Inside the NBA, and he was giving some of his thoughts on why he thinks Anthony Davis is a problem. So before we go too far, what we want to do is play some of his comments on Anthony Davis, and then we're going to come back and kind of react to some of the things that Shaq had to say. So before we go too far, take a listen to some of the things that Shaq had to say here. Take a listen to that.
It's about AD.
No, I'm not. Listen, this is what I'm saying.
It's about Bron.
Okay.
About AD. That's why they call it 1-2.
No, listen. I'm just saying this. When you were in Orlando, some guys would, and you had, let's say, Penny and yourself. Nick Anderson, Horace Grant, and those guys might depend more on Penny, or they might depend more on you. I don't know. I'm just saying. Okay. There is those guys depend more on LeBron to get their game off.
Forget the pins, forget the diapers that you're talking about. The other guy got to step up. Like
no, he's not here.
No. When you say 1-2 punch, 1-2 punch has to be like right here, not one here and two down there. You never win. They got to be, if LeBron getting 29, 26, AD either got to be 34 or 28.9. So you always got to be close.
In 4 weeks. We'll see what happens in 4 weeks.
Okay.
Now, before I even unpack some of the things that he had to say about Anthony Davis, there's something I want to say. I can see exactly why Shaq became as successful as he did in his life. It's very clear from those statements that he made there. It's very clear to see why Shaq became successful, right? Shaquille O'Neal to me seems as if he's a no excuses type of guy, and he doesn't seem like one of these people that likes to BS himself like others do, right? Shaq strikes me as somebody that is extremely honest with himself and others. I remember when the Dwight Howard was trying to figure out whether or not he wanted to stay with the Lakers, and the Lakers were trying to court him. And Shaq said something that I remember to this day. He said, "Listen, I'm a businessman. I don't like to waste people's time. If I'm going to come back to this team, I'm going to tell you up front and say, listen, I'm coming back or I'm not. I don't like to waste people's time. I like to be straightforward with people, and I don't want people believing that I'm going to do one thing when in my heart I'm going to do something else. I don't like to be indecisive." You could understand from Shaq right there that he's a no-nonsense, no BS type of guy, right? Business people and serious people, they don't waste people's time. If they're going to do something with you, they'll tell you, hey, man, let's make this happen. If they're not interested in you, they're not going to blow. They're going to say, listen, I know you think this is a great idea, but I don't think it's the right thing for me. So I'm going to have to pass on it, right? That's straightforward people. And Shaq seems to me to be someone that's straightforward. And I love that because he's like, listen, cut out the BS. Like, just cut it out. Stop dancing around the issue. And let's say exactly what the issue is. And that's the type of energy I like. Shaq went directly to Anthony Davis. Shaq strikes me as someone that doesn't like the baby guys. That is something that is really bothersome people on our channel. Not all, the majority of guys on our channel, they like the masculine energy that we try to put forward. And I think a lot of the guys on our channel, I think they find it to be refreshing, right? They find it to be refreshing. We have, men, because the majority of our audience is 95% of them are men. They like men that are going to have honest, straightforward discussions in a respectful way with one another. We're not going to beat around the bush and say this and say that. They like straightforward guys that are just giving out some good, positive, masculine energy. I think that's what the majority of the men on this channel like. And that's what I'm getting from Shaq. You will listen to Kenny Smith. Kenny Smith is over there babying guys, man. Kenny Smith is just out there. It's not him. It's if he's benefited. And that's why Shaq said, I don't, whatever diaper comments you're talking, you remember when he said that? These diapers? He's saying whatever type of comments that you're talking about, you're just babying this guy. You're beating around the bush. That's what he meant with those comments, right? This is exactly what we talk about all the time. The fact of the matter is this. Anthony Davis has Giannis Antetokounmpo talent, or I dare say, that Anthony Davis is more talented. If we're talking about raw talent, he is more talented than Giannis Antetokounmpo. But Giannis Antetokounmpo is just totally outplaying him this year. Anthony Davis should be playing like Giannis Antetokounmpo on the Lakers. That's essentially the type of player he should be. If we look at Anthony Davis' stats this season, at a glance, he's averaging 23 points per game, getting you 9.9 rebounds and 2.9 assists. He's shooting. Wow, I didn't even know this. He's shooting 18% from the three-point line. That's terrible. That's worse than Russell Westbrook. Shooting 73% from the free throw line. His free throw percentage since he's become a Laker has just been the first year he was with the Lakers, he was shooting 84.6. Next year, 73.8. This year, 72.7. He's getting you less than 10 rebounds a game, although his rebounds are up. Virtually 10 rebounds, although his rebounds are up by 2 last year, getting you 2.9 assists and 2 blocks per game. But these numbers are not really making an impact. Right? They're not making an impact. And I think it's a total embarrassment that Anthony Davis, who's a 28-year-old all-star, is being outplayed and outscored by LeBron James, who's a 37-year-old all-star. That's embarrassing. That's embarrassing. And to me, I think it speaks directly to his mentality. It seems as if, to me, Anthony Davis, listen, I don't think Anthony Davis went to the Lakers because he likes the Lakers. Laker fans, hello, are you there? Are you there? AD did not go to the Lakers because he likes the Lakers. Anthony Davis went to the Lakers because he likes LeBron James and he wants to play, or he wanted to play with LeBron. I said it 2 years ago. This is not the guy to lead you guys into the future. He did not go to the Lakers to take in the footsteps or continue the legacy of Wilt, Shaq, Kareem, Powell, and these guys. That's not what he went there for. He went there to go play with LeBron James, period, end of story. He's not about carrying on the Laker legacy and really putting that franchise on his back and taking it to the next level. That is not what Anthony Davis is all about. You can tell it. You can just look at his body language and that'll tell you. Anthony Davis walks around as if like he's LeBron James. Somebody left a comment on the channel. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe some of the things that people type. Somebody said, what was LeBron James before he met Anthony Davis? I was like, what? You mean, what was Anthony Davis before he met LeBron? Last time I checked, LeBron had 4 regular season MVPs, 3 finals MVPs, 3 regular season, 3 NBA championships, multiple. Like, what are we even discussing? These are the guys that like the baby guys. It's never the person's fault. It's always somebody else's fault. It can't be him. It's somebody else. Like somebody came on our channel and they started crying for Ben Simmons on the channel. Oh, you don't know what he's going through in the media in Australia. He's going through so many things. It's like, do you live on Earth? Do you know what people are going through in the world? And you're talking about what Ben Simmons. Do you know what people are going? Do you know how many people this year won't even be able to provide gifts for their families on Christmas? And you're talking about what Ben Simmons is going through. Spare me with your nonsense. Spare me with your emotions and how sorry you feel and your tears. Spare me with it. Man up. And that's essentially what Shaq is saying. He's like, spare me with all of your diaper talk. Spare me with it. Like we've had enough. Men have had enough of this. Like, Let's get back to some masculine energy and talk about, and let's be straightforward about things for a change, for God's sakes. If I'm the Lakers, I'm looking to trade Anthony Davis in the future. I want to go get me somebody that has a little bit more heart and less injury prone that's also an all-star. Give me a guy. Imagine if Anthony Davis had the makeup of a Jimmy Butler. That's what you need. You need a dog in there. A rough rider. You need a dog to lead that. That you can see why Shaq has 3 NBA championship with the Lakers. He was nasty. And that's how you have to be. You can't be a nice guy trying to be top dog on the Lakers. You can't be a nice guy. It's not about being a nice guy because you got a bunch of wolves coming for you. So that means you got to be a tiger. Forget about being a wolf. If you got wolves coming for you, you can't be another wolf. Because chances are they may be able to get the best of you. Wolves can deal with wolves. You got to be a lion or a tiger. That when they see you, we're not going to mess with this dude. When people were talking about Shaq, ain't nobody trying to mess around with Shaq on a basketball court. But Anthony Davis is like, man, if you just bump this guy 1 or 2 times, man, he's going to fall apart. Just elbow him. Just kneel into him. Drop your shoulders into him. He don't want to come up in here and bang with us in the paint. He ain't trying to get all of this smoke in the paint. Just lean into him. He'll run off the court. That's what y'all talking about. I'm very happy with the comments that Shaq made, and I'm in lockstep with him. So what I want to know from you guys, what do you think about the comments that he made? What do you think of my assessment? Whatever you guys think, please leave your thoughts and comments in the comment section below. Again, if you enjoyed the video, be sure to make sure you go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be notified whenever we drop our content. Once again, this is Charles here from Dreamerspro. Oh, and by the way, this is most likely our last upload for before Christmas. So we want to wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas. Thank you guys for all of your support. Wishing you guys a safe Christmas, and hopefully all of you enjoy it. And God bless you, and we catch you guys on the next episode.